Before we get into this episode, I would like to make a quick disclaimer that all of Society Inspired's interviews and the information we share are 100% for learning experience and to hear the different sides of the various issues we discuss. We never endorse nor support violence, and we are committed to promoting peace. I want to create a safe space for learning and comfortable place for people to be able to start to speak. Hope you enjoy. I would like to preface this episode with a warning, as this episode contains mentions of suicide. Please keep this in mind as you listen and take caution of how you listen. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 28th episode of Society Inspired. My name is Gemma. I'm 17 years old and a Palestinian American teen. I'm so excited to have Alexis Williams from Queer Trans Project as our special guest for episode number 28. Would you like to introduce yourself, tell us your story, and also share your preferred pronouns, please?
Yeah, definitely. So, hi everybody. My name is Alexis Williams. I use she, her pronouns. I'm born and raised here in Jacksonville, Florida, where we're currently located with our big office with all of our cool stuff that we're going to talk about later. I am the deputy director of the Queer Trans Project, but also a co-founder and standing member. I'm just so excited to be here and just run through all the questions with Gemma and bring awareness to some issues that aren't always talked about.
Yes, for sure. Before the start of Queer Trans Project, what inspired the beginning of your advocacy journey?
Definitely. So, as a kid, I pretty much was raised in a community center where advocacy and community service went hand in hand. I actually have my gold congressional award, which is kind of weird to say that like just like a girl from Jacksonville has one, but also like a black girl. Uh, that's really where I got my start in enthusiasm towards like supporting nonprofits. I got my boots on the ground with working with the Beaches Habitat for Humanity education program. So working with the kids who are affected by poverty and their parents are working towards getting building their own homes essentially. I got to really be in the mix of all that. And I had an amazing mentor who introduced me to just like the world of what it means to give back and to love giving back. And it just kind of started from there. And then I just never stopped. I fell in love with giving back in the communities that are giving back in the nonprofit world. And then my partner decided to transition in 2021. And we had a hard time finding resources and getting them assistance or even finding things in their shade range, just like a multitude of different issues. And thus the Queer Trans Project evolved.
Yeah.
And here we are. We've been able to give out $250,000 worth of gender affirming items across the US and do some amazing things. So, it really started from just my childhood, but also my partner transitioning had like a huge factor in where QT is and where my passion continues to lie.
Awesome. Well, you kind of just answered some part of question two, but do you have another moment you realized you wanted to do more and go further and create the Queer Trans Project? And on top of that, what is your project's purpose? Which you also just shared a
Definitely.
bit of, but like I know there's more.
No. So our mission is to give gender affirming items to help combat dysphoria. That's what I would say is like the nutshell of what we do. How we do it is through our Build a Queer Kids, but we also have a bunch of other programs that we'll talk about later. Uh, a big like eye-opening moment for me was like, it's really personal, but laying in bed next to my partner, they were probably a year and a half from top surgery. They felt so lost. They didn't see people who looked like them that were trans. They didn't see plus size people. They didn't see black people. They didn't see people that just resembled them. And it was just so devastating to be able to lay next to someone and feel like there's nothing I can do. And I wish someone could have been what we are now for my partner then. And that might sound like a mouthful, but it's truly how I feel. I just like being the person my partner would have needed. I was honestly afraid my partner was going to commit suicide, um, full-heartedly, and it was like a big wake-up call for me as a cis woman, as a Black woman, all the things that intersect. I realized like something is wrong here, and this
Mhm.
isn't right. And people like my partner needed help,
Yeah.
and that really just strives to, it continues to keep me going because if we can just change one outcome the entire duration of my life, I'm okay with that because that's somebody. And I want to be the one person for somebody.
Yeah, for sure. Um, what was the growth process of this project for you to not only help the queer community in Florida, but across the country?
Oh my goodness. We started in a closet in our two-bedroom apartment,
Wow.
just like with like a $500 micro grant from the Southern Equality Fund. So shout out to them for, giving us a chance on like a whole pilot project and also just investing our own funds. It's just been so crazy. Um, we just went from like shipping out little care packages to now we have like full on like build a queer kits. If you look up the hashtag, it has like maybe 1 million views and all kinds of like different things. It's so cool. And to see the growth, like literally a few days ago on a grant application, they asked the same question, what has evolved in your program? And we had to just sit there and look at each other like, oh my God, we were just giving out like binders and like keychains, and now like we have like all types of fem items. We have packers. We have our own packing boxers. We have our own like body tape. Like that's freaking cool.
Yeah.
Going from just like a little bit that we could do, like it's just been so amazing to see the growth and to grow from a closet to literally our own office. Um, it's it's humbling, but it's so beautiful and we're always so grateful to even have what we have now. We always have big ideas to do more and more. We'd love to have like pop-ups across the country. We'd love to have like, always have Build a Crickets in stock because like they sell out in minutes. So like we have to do like drops essentially like once a quarter. So
Wow.
once every few months. But we love to like just have like continuous supplies for those who really need it. And so the growth has been crazy. We went from like maybe one or two a year because we've only been in action for 3 years now. So
Wow.
at first it was like, so I think it was like 3 times, and then it was like 4, 5, 6 times. And like this year, like we're about to have a really big one, but it'll be our biggest one yet with like thousands of like things for people to get.
That's like amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Well, what are some of the services and tools that you offer more in depth? Because I know.
Um, No, definitely. So our biggest takeaway that like just jump started on social media like super crazy, thanks TikTok, was our Build a Queer Kit. So our Build a Queer Kit, we love the name. It's just like you're
Yeah.
kind of just building up yourself. You're building yourself in your true form is what we like to think about. So we're offering like binders. We have our gender grip, which is our own like body tape you can use to bind, tuck. Even I use it to lift as a cis woman. We also offer, I mean, foam packers. We have our own like boxers that you can use to pack. So it just has like a little slip in the front where you could slip the foam packer. We have makeup, I mean, nails, I mean, like bras and underwears. Like, and some of those things seem like so typical because, like, you and I can go in the store and go get a bra and underwear, and no one like bats an eye. But think about someone who is a transgender female and how uncomfortable that can be, especially here in Florida, the dangers behind it as well. So we
Yeah.
try to offer things that people are affirmed by, but also can't get within means. And so we're really proud to offer these as a service.
Yeah.
We also offer free flights. So if you need to go get surgery, we will cover that flight for you, your caretaker. We've even went as far as covering people's service animals to get from Florida to California, California to New York, whatever you need to go get any type of surgery or just affirming care. So we've had somebody do a conference, a trans conference. We've had someone go and do facial reconstruction, top surgery, different things. And so we've been able to fly individuals over 75,000 miles, which is super freaking cool. We have like a wait list for flights. And that's like such a bustling program. And we've had so many cool like people be like, oh, I heard about it from here. I heard about it from there. And it's like, whoa, we've never even been in like Nebraska. How do people know about us? It's like crazy cool.
Yeah.
We also have our love line. So we have like an affirmations line. So typically with suicide helplines, you know, you pick up the phone and you have to talk to someone. Usually there's a wait, excuse me, a wait. But with our love line, it's just straight affirmations. You can just hear straight from the line because sometimes you don't really need to talk, rather, you just need to hear you're okay. You're going to get through this. And I love you and I want you to be here. And so it's one of the cool things that we also offer. All of the voices and stories that are on the line are things that we've collected ourselves. We have celebrities, we have religious leaders, we have politicians, even children, or even like elder queers, which is something that we don't always get to see, unfortunately, in our community due to violence.
Yes.
It's super cool. We also like we sell the chape that I mentioned before, gender grip. We also sell that at the lowest value, and we have such a steep shade range, which we don't get to typically see in stores for our queer and trans community. So we're grateful to be able to have that. And pretty much for every roll purchased, you know, for people who have funds to buy gender affirming items, we'll put a roll back into our kids. And it just purely funds us. So we have sustainability to always do this. And we're not just relying on grants or foundations or donations. So it's a way that we use it for sustainability. Um, we have a few new cool ones coming out soon. So we have some health and wellness kits that we will be dropping in 2024. We don't have a date for it yet, but you're actually the first person to know. So yay. So we just hope to cover all the needs of everybody. And I think that's what all of our services and tools do.
Wow, a lot.
That's a lot, but you know, as a two-person team with an amazing board and amazing volunteers, I mean, like, we get through this every day. Like, you know, Cielo, the founder, and I, the co-founder, like, we both have 9 to 5s as well. So
Wow,
we're
I know
tired.
that's a lot of work.
We're tired, but doing
Worth it.
QT, I mean, we truly, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like just all the gushy feelings inside. But we do get tired. That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's a human thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, well, how can someone get involved with the Queer Trans Project to continue supporting the queer community in the increasing times the government doesn't?
I think like any nonprofit, I do have to say financial donations are always good. Like even $1, like it's typically $7 to ship a kit. So if you do the numbers, like we're giving out thousands of dollars just to shipping per job. So a big thing would just be like going to www.queertransproject.org and hitting that donate now button. But also that's not it. We need people on the ground with us. So even writing letters, because we include letters in every kit, a handwritten letter. And it sounds so like a letter. But sometimes that's the most like amazing thing that people want to see. They're like, I didn't ask for this. I didn't know it was coming with this, but I needed this and I'm going to keep this in my wallet because I need someone to tell me they love me. I need someone to tell me they're here for me. I didn't know I needed this until I read it.
Yeah.
So we have people who send in letters from all over the world, actually. So from Canada to Palestine, actually, which is kind of crazy, and different parts of the country. And they'll ship in a stack of letters just like with affirmations. And we include them in every single kit. So that's a way to be an advocate in yourself at home. Um, we also have like volunteers here in Jacksonville, Florida. But when we do pop up in different places, there's opportunities for other people to show up. And so following us on social media, you'll know like where we'll pop up next and how you can meet with us or even like meet with others to try and fundraise or like get items to help us, you know, offer in the kits. So there's so many different things to get involved with, and we're always just an email away at queertransproject@gmail.com.
Yes. Well, what are some next steps that we can take as a society to ensure that the community get what they need in their basic human rights?
Wow. That's such a, I feel like this
It's a
question
deep
has so many
question.
levels. It is. I think as an organization that does direct service, there's such a need for tangible items that people need because social transition and medical transitions do require tangible things or tangible resources, doctors, binders, packers, different things. So if I had to say what are the next steps, like let's as like a, world make sure that these things are accessible to everybody, right? Um, next, this is actually a fun fact. Only 2% of funding from foundations give to LGBTQ nonprofits. So, hey, foundations in the world, we're here, we're queer, we're trans. Can we have some of the money to
Yeah,
help keep doing the work? So, shout out to foundations. Like, let's start doing more work in the queer community.
for sure.
Um, politics. Let's get out there and vote. Let's stay active and educated on who we're voting for. And
Yes.
let's make sure that we're showing up to all of our local meetings in the city hall, the statewide ones and the national ones. Let's stay aware and active because if we're catching things that they're sliding under the door, we can nip that in the bud.
Yeah.
Um, so I feel like there's like levels to it. Even just being an advocate for your friend or family members, like they can come to you and talk to you. We need that. Parents, your kids need to be able to talk to you because we're getting their emails and they cannot talk to you and they're scared.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, it's all, there's just so many layers to what we can all do, but there's something for everyone to do. So I hope that with what I'm saying, someone can be like, okay, this is what I can do in my means.
Yeah.
Even if it's sending us letters, like that's advocacy and taking next steps. You're contributing to what we're pushing out in the world. So many layers.
Are there any resources you want my followers and me to read, watch, listen to?
I would definitely say that we're starting to push out a lot of more educational resources. So following us on Instagram at Queer Trans Project, we're always pushing out facts. We're always pushing out events. We're always making sure that we're resharing anything to do with like politics and legislations. I mean, so that's my first stop is you can always check us out because we're always making sure we are staying connected with people who are pushing out real things that we need to talk about, that we need to learn about. And so it's a great first stop. My second stop will be any, legitimate medical articles. So if you're trans, I know that there's so many legitimate positive advocates out here. You can find them like Pink Manta Ray, Skylar Baylor, or you can find them. Cielo Sensor, our founder, is actually also someone who advocates on their own time through their own personal media. So there's all types of advocates out here that will actually give you the information and support maybe you need to listen to. So those are a few people that I would follow up with, I would listen to. Um, just making sure that you're absorbing the right media because there's people out here that don't want to give you real facts. They want to give you whatever is pushing their own agenda. So just, don't turn on Fox News and think you're going to get like the best knowledge about your
I know.
child, or your friend. Do the work to find the good resources. And, I gave you a few stopping points. So the rest is on you.
Yeah. Um, Lastly, where can my listeners follow you on social media so they can keep up with you and all you do?
Definitely. So if you want to keep up with me, my personal is whatever underscore Lexus. I am a very sassy out there person. So that is why my username is that because it's like whatever Alexis. You'll see me posting just more about my personal life, my cats, um, things about my family. But also a lot of it has to do with like resharing information that's important to our community, beyond my community, just like other BIPOC marginalized communities. And so you can follow me there and keep up with me there and just, hang out for the ride.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking your time to do this interview. Make sure you follow Queer Trans Project on all social media platforms and support Alexis in that amazing journey. And make sure to follow our other social media platforms as well so you don't miss out on more interviews and important information. I hope you enjoyed the 28th episode of Society Inspired, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.